Ladies and gentlemen, we are filming this on a Wednesday night, as
Yep.
tradition, like we do for Major Championship Golf. Here with the Wager Bros, I'm Johnny Glass. We got G Money here. It
Nope.
is PGA Championship Eve, the
It
second major
is.
of the year for the last couple of years since they moved it to May. Let's start out right there. Do you prefer it in May or do you prefer it in August like it was when we grew up?
I love it in May because typically you go from the Masters and you have the whole
Two
month,
months?
you have the rest of April, all of May into mid June before you have another quote unquote big event. So I absolutely love where they've put the PGA Championship.
Yeah, and Brooks Koepka obviously loves it because he's won it three times. Let's there's something there. I don't know. I like the tradition because it was always like that was the last one before we went back to school. Growing up, I just always liked it in August, but I'm not gonna hate on having a major championship every 4 weeks for the next
I
couple of months.
Absolutely, and I do think as well, moving it to May opens up more places where you can have it. I mean, you're obviously
Also very
probably not
true.
going to have, I mean, what was it back when they had it at Southern Hills back some years ago in
Yeah,
August? It was like 112 degrees or something like that.
yeah, yeah.
So you have it in a few months earlier in May. I think you opened up almost the entire country, really, to that could actually host the PGA Championship. So it's
Absolutely.
much better.
Love that. So we got a preview show tonight, guys. We're gonna talk about Quail Hollow. We're gonna talk about some news in the golf world leading into round one tomorrow, including some fantastic quotage from Hunter Mahan, which we'll get to in a bit.
Oh man.
And then we've got a make the cut parlay for making the cut. We've got our traditional winner backup and dark horse, and then we'll end it with your three picks for round one for our normal stuff. So let's get into it. G Money, what are we? Tell us about Quail Hollow.
Well, everybody knows this place in a lot of ways. If you follow PGA Tour at all, they play it every single year. It's
Yeah,
obviously going to look a bit different. Probably rough a little longer. So fairways maybe brought in just a little bit more since it is a major championship week. But originally designed all the way back in 1959, the actual more redesign how you see it now played was actually done by Tom Fazio in 1995. So
yeah,
it had a major facelift there in the mid 90s.
yeah. Fazio's redesigns and his designs traditionally
100%.
put an emphasis on shot making. And it's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, Rory obviously has this course figured out.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, he's won what? He won a his first major at Quail Hollow, I think, is that right?
Not his first major, just his first PGA Tour win back in 2010
Okay.
yeah. So he's won it 2010, 2015, 2021, 2024. So you could almost call this place Rory McIlroy Country Club since they started playing here, quite frankly.
Yeah, and that's he I think last year at when he won it, it was right after the news of his brief divorce had kicked off, and he was not talking about it with anybody. And of course, Tim and Erica got back together, but he just went out and put a hurting on Xander Schauffele that week on everybody. Interesting the greens, though, for a course that puts an emphasis on shot making, one of the largest average green sizes on the PGA Tour at 6,600 square feet, I think.
Yeah, yeah. There's going to be some very fun putts. You're probably going to see guys putting from 100 feet and things like that, which is which will make for some very interesting shots around the green and putting. So
Yeah, you're probably going to see lots of, like, if you get short sighted, you're going to see lots of flop shots, with this rough. I mean, who knows? It rained early. I think on Monday they didn't even
oh,
allow
torture
patrons.
rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael Kim was on Twitter today saying that there was still water on the course. I mean, the PGA Tour actually came, or the PGA of America actually came out and said that they were not going to play preferred lies tomorrow. So I thought that was a little odd that they were like coming out ahead of time and saying they weren't doing that, but it's just going to make a course where you have to hit it in the fairway. Like it's going to make those, especially like your nerves on one's one of the toughest holes on the course. You're going to see you got to put the ball in the fairway. You're going to be
Yeah,
hacking it out, you know.
yeah. Right out of the gate, you have a par four that's over 500 yards. So
Yeah,
welcome to the course.
yeah, exactly. And then you've got the Green Mile at the end, which is, a super long par four over 520 yards. You've got a par three at it could play as long as 230, 240. I mean, there's several long par threes in this course, which we'll get to, and then, another long par four on 18 to end it.
Yep.
Course is decked out at 7,600 yards. Do you think early in the week it plays to 78, 79 with the moisture, or do you think that isn't going to have a factor by Thursday, Friday?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't think they got any rain today, Wednesday night. I don't think
Yeah,
they got any rain. I'm not sure what the forecast looks like for the week. If it's anything like it is, just several hours south here in Florida, it'll probably be very warm,
yeah,
and no rain. This is what we're forecasted to get. So as long as if the course dries out, I think by Saturday, Sunday, you'll start
yeah,
to see it very difficult. They may give them a little bit of a break if it's still very, very soft. But with
yeah,
as far as these guys hit how soft it is doesn't matter. In reality, just making it softer, all that does is make it play more wide open because the ball's not going to run into the rough or anything like that. So,
yeah. That's true.
it doesn't. The length doesn't really matter with the vast majority of the field.
Put it on record, folks. G Money taking the Bryson DeChambeau approach of, length doesn't matter at this course. All right, so it's going to be an interesting test. I love Quail Hollow as a design. We'll see how they play it. Let's get to some news. Fan favorite and very popular full swing golfer Sahith Theegala withdrew today with some back and neck problems that he's been fighting. Sucks for Sahith. You hate to miss a major championship.
Yeah.
Wish him the best of luck in
Well,
his recovery on that.
especially I mean he's not been playing great, but he's been showing some signs of life over the last few weeks. So I mean, not that he maybe was had a chance to win per se here, but I mean
He was hitting
he
the ball
could have
better for
continued
sure.
for sure. So
Yeah. Also, of note, news-wise, several live golfers got exemptions this week.
yeah,
You're going to see, I mean, there's some rumors going around that Tiger was with Trump trying to get a deal done, that Liv doesn't have a long-term future in the game, and then you see that they're going to maybe get, world ranking points now. I mean, we've talked about this for years on the show. I don't even like talking about it anymore. Just like figure it out, get it done so we can quit talking about it. That's my
it's
take
one
on
of
it.
yeah, it's sort of either shit or get off the pot. And at my point, either
Yeah.
be together or continue to be separate. I don't know at this point. Just figure something out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just want to quit talking about it. Luckily, we haven't. It's not been in the main story, especially since Rory won the Masters. But yeah,
Yeah.
just I don't want to talk about it anymore. Talk about hole number six, long par threes on this golf course. Three of the four are over 200 yards. The sixth is on the scorecard at 249. They're saying this could play 270 if they push it back.
So
Like,
it's like a little preview of Oakmont. Got it.
yeah, I
Next
mean,
15
like
years.
I personally am not a fan of long par threes because I'm a hack. But like, you got guys bringing seven woods and nine woods, and they might be hitting three woods into these par threes if there's like stuff like that. I personally, I'll tell you what I love about like my favorite kind of course is when you have like two really long par threes, and then you do what Troon did last year, where they had the 110 yard par three. Like I
Yeah.
love that. Like
Or
give me a sand wedge.
or
You know?
last week at the cricket club in Philadelphia, they had what a 98-yard par three on
Yeah,
Sunday. They put the pin all
yeah,
the way up front and so forth, and
yeah,
I think the longest they played was like 130 yards for the week. So
yeah.
I mean, those kind of par
Big
threes
fan.
are fun.
Big fan of short par threes. Like
Yeah.
seeing these guys go at it. And then we get to Mr. Hunter Mahan. So this came out to Golf Digest. he is not a fan of Quail Hollow. Let's say that. He said that I guess I would say that Quail Hollow is like a Kardashian. It's very modern, beautiful, and well kept, but it lacks a soul or character. Now, slight dig at the Kardashians. Maybe not slight dig. Maybe that's an actual full size dig.
Yeah,
But I would disagree. I think, Quail Hollow is probably one of the better non-traditional US, obviously it's in Augusta every year for the Masters. The US Open has kind of allotted to a rota now that like the RNA has for the Open.
yeah,
I think of if you're not in those courses, like I like Quail Hollow way more than I like LACC, or Olympic, like or even probably Medina. Like, give me Quail Hollow. I think Hunter Mahan needs a reason to get some news, and he got it. But it was just hilarious. Shout out to Hunter Mahan for for a nice dig on the Kardashian family on that one.
yeah. The way I mean, Hunter Mahan's obviously not relevant in golf anymore in any way, shape, or form like he used to be. But the way what I describe Quail Hollow as to me is it's a very versatile track.
Yeah,
As you see, it hosts an elevated PGA Tour event every year. It's hosted a PGA Championship. It's hosting another one. It also hosted the President's Cup a few years ago. So,
yeah.
regardless of it being modern, beautiful, excellent, I mean, I disagree with that. I think it's a versatile golf course, and
Yeah.
it's a tough test, and there you go.
All right. All right, guys. So we got the course, we got the news. Let's get into some picks. We're gonna start out with our make the cut parlay. You guys know we called Rory winning the Masters. And on our major parlay that we put up,
As
we need
stressful as
speed.
that was, we did call Rory winning the
Yes,
Masters.
and he tried to not win, but I don't think he's going to be shanking any wedges from 70 yards this week, but we'll see. So I'll do the first three. We've got Jordan Spieth at -240. Obviously he's my guy, he's who we're rolling with. And also the man that's probably the best PGA championship golfer of the last 20 years, I'm going to say Brooks Koepka at -240. The guy just tends to show up in major championships, although he didn't play well at Augusta. The guy just seems to do well in PGA championships for some reason. And then for my third part of the parlay, we're going to go Maverick McNeely. The guy has been everywhere around it leading up to the PGA championship. He's had some looks at winning. Great to see him coming back after a medical exemption several years ago, playing good golf. I think Maverick McNeely is a shoe-in to make the cut.
Yeah. Then the next three that we have, these are all three guys that they're hit or miss, really.
Yeah,
And actually, I think one of these guys it could potentially be he's not in our picks, but he could be a major dark horse to
yeah,
potentially get up there. So first one's Ricky Fowler. He's actually won at this course before as well.
yeah,
So I think he'll make the cut or should make the cut. Nikolai Højgaard is next. Ricky Fowler's at -160. Nikolai Højgaard is at -140. You've seen him up on the leaderboard some as well, but then you've also seen him miss cuts. So depending on which Nikolai Højgaard we get, he could be right up there. This last guy that we've got, I think, is the one you could see up there as a leader at some point. Whether he's there
yeah,
on Sunday or not, I don't know. But Thomas Dietrich, he is up there a lot, week in and week out on regular PGA Tour events. So can he do
yeah.
it in a major championship? We'll find out. Where we're going to take him to make the cut, also at -140.
All right, so the three-way parlay is Spieth, Koepka, and McNeely, Fowler, Højgaard, and Petrie. All in, it's a plus 1325 parlay. We got 4 of the 6 at the Masters for make the cut, so let's get 6 of 6 this time, or 5 of 6. Let's just do better. Do
Yeah.
better is the mantra here. And then we're finally down to our winner, backup, and dark horse. Let's go. Let's go dark horses first. I'm gonna go the big Swede, Ludwig. He's we've picked him a couple of times to win or different things. He hasn't quite done it yet, but he won the Genesis earlier this year at Torrey. You saw that. You saw him kind of break through on that side. I think we've been saying this for a year and a half now. The guy is right there, and he's going to break through at any time. He just needs to put four. He has a habit of putting three consistent rounds together and one math round. Um, and so I think that, for a guy that hits it as far as he does with that gorgeous golf swing, I think he's an easy pick for the dark horse.
For sure. And my dark horse is the guy that we actually picked last week in the final round to win. I could easily see him bouncing back, and that is Mr. Shane Lowry.
Yep.
He's won the and actually the Open coming up. He won it last time it was there. So
Yeah.
I could see him adding a second major championship to his mantle. But
All right.
yeah, so Shane Lowry.
All right. And then backups. I will say I'm going to go Jordan Spieth as my backup, and you'll know why in a minute. But I want Jordan Spieth to win. I think he's got a lot of a lot of better players playing much better consistently right now ahead of him, which you'll see in a minute. But yeah, Spieth's going to be my backup in case my number one doesn't make it.
Yeah, and then kind of for the we kind of wanted the same guys, but for the purposes of being different, I we both kind of picked, but it's so difficult to pick between these guys that we wanted to pick from. And
Hmm.
so my backup is I could easily see Bryson DeChambeau getting some get back from what happened to him at the Masters, because he's kicking himself that he wasn't able to get the job done there. So Bryson
100%.
DeChambeau is my backup.
Love that. And then for winners, I'm gonna go Rory. The guy finally got the monkey off his back. The guy is played super well. Like he's figured it out. He is swinging free, playing free, and I think Rory, is the odds-on favorite to get it done this week, and especially at a course that he's won at, four times. Like let's go. Like there's no reason to bet against Rory this week.
Yeah, I mean, I think pretty much for the rest of Rory's career, he's freewheeling. I mean,
Yeah,
he once he
it's a
got the
free roll at this
Masters,
point.
yeah, once he got the Masters out of the way, it's a free roll for him. So, um, yeah, my favorite to win, I think, is Scotty Scheffler. I mean, he obviously waxed the field a couple of weeks ago. Showed everybody, hey, I'm still here, FYI.
Yeah,
So now I think he could easily step up and get his would be third major championship since he's won
yeah.
the Masters twice.
Yeah, so I mean it's not a terrible look, but yeah. So Rory Spieth and Aberg for me, Scotty DeChambeau and Lowry for you. Yeah, guys, it's gonna be a great week. It's major championship golf. It's round one. It's ESPN has got coverage starting at 7 a.m. if you have
Uh,
ESPN Plus. Um, and so either way, guys, looking forward to this. We're gonna be doing end of round recaps every night after the round. They'll be here on YouTube. If you're not on Instagram, follow us on Instagram. We make the picks every day for our bet. We're 1-1 so far for today. Come on, Golden Knights. Let us go 2-1. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow night for a round one recap of the PGA Championship.